Hey everyone, it's Alexander here back at you with a quick video that I wanted to do about this debacle that caught my eye recently involving Hank Green and his apparent usage of AI to help write his video scripts. So this is what we're looking at here. It's a video here by Casey Simpson. I'm not going to get into it, but I just have one big comment. I think you guys can form your own opinions very well on your own, so I'm not going to get caught up in the object level right here, right now. But there is one thing that I wanted to say here regarding Hank. And this is a thing that I don't think that most people understand. Hank is a media personality, and for that reason, his view on the part of the public is much more heavily shaped by what he talks about in front of the camera rather than who he really is. But he is a real person. Everything he does isn't put on camera, and who he really is isn't accurately represented on camera. So, what are we looking at when we look at Hank Green? Well, we're originally looking at Hank along with his brother John, who originally formed what was known as the Vlog Brothers. The thing I want to explain to you is that Hank and John Green are elites, and I need to qualify what exactly I mean by that. So I need to tell you guys what an elite is. Now, there's no hard and fast definition, but I think the most useful way to understand what makes an elite versus the rest of us is an elite generally doesn't need to have employment in order to survive. Now, this doesn't mean that they're all millionaires, rich, and just have it all and they can live a comfortable existence, although for the most part, most of them do. They'll have houses that are paid for, they will have lots of free time to do creative endeavors such as Vlogbrothers way back in the way back. But this doesn't necessarily mean that they're powerful. It doesn't mean that they have access to lots of money to do what they will with, like the tech mob does. It just means that they're not playing the same game as everybody else. One of the most insightful things that you can understand about Hank and John is that way back in the old days, even before they started the Vlogbrothers endeavor, they were already millionaires. And that's even more interesting considering the fact that they're not conservative, pro business, they're liberals. In fact, they're even progressives. That's a very curious thing. If you are a progressive, if you're anti deregulation, anti big business, that whole thing, and then nonetheless you are still up there enough that you can be a millionaire, especially when you're young. You're both of these guys are millennials, so they were very young back before they started this stuff. They have to be elite. I mean, that checks enough of the boxes. And to whatever extent that that might not have them meeting the threshold, you can cross reference it with other things such as Hank Green getting to meet with Obama during his second term and kickstarting what would become the big progressive tone shift in Democratic politics. So he's able to give meetings with the president way back in the 2010s, just a YouTuber. How many YouTubers did you know of in the 2010s who could do such a thing? There's more to the story, and that's what this is. This is what it is to be an elite. And the reason that I'm saying this, the reason I'm telling you guys, if you don't already know, that John and Hank are elites, is because it'll explain to you very easily why they would get caught in something like this. Right? Why would Hank Green use AI in his video? The answer is simple. Like many elites, Hank is caught up under the same incentives and the same pressures and the same need to conform and the cultural norms that are rapidly evolving. There's a whole world of luxury beliefs that they all have to subscribe to in order to keep up. Hank fell victim to this, basically, is what happened. Hank got busted using AI because he's inundated, like most elites are, in the kayfabe revolving around AI. That it's this intelligent thing, maybe it'll be AGI soon, we don't know, and there's this whole contrived discourse amongst people with a lot more money than you or me about irrelevant details. They make a giant circus out of pretending like it matters. That just leaves lots of opportunities, lots of holes in the Swiss cheese, so to speak, for them to experience lapses in judgment, case in point here with Hank. It may sound like we know things about how this is working or where it's going, but the reality is that we don't know anything about AI. We don't really understand the fundamentals. And the more insidious thing in the specific case of AI is that this discourse is designed to keep people ignorant. It's designed to avoid whatever kinds of technical discussions might actually lead to a resolution and an understanding. It's designed to stifle and thwart independent discourse, narrative management, discourse control, These are basic toolkits in the hands of the tech mob. But Hank has these pressures because Hank has lots of other elite friends, because that's how being an elite works. It's like the individual equivalent of being a sovereign nation. What makes you sovereign? Well, being recognized by other sovereign nations. It's a catch-22, but if you have it, then you have it. This is how Hank can get caught up in this. And it's very important to know because it might explain a lot more of his behavior. Even if he's somebody whose politics you generally agree with, you might find a lot of weird things that were previously unexplained by his liberal ethos to now make a lot more sense. So, I hope that helped you. If anything, it's some more information that you probably didn't have. Thanks for watching. And as always, thanks for watching.